Hello, this is Year 3 Maths Lesson 10. The objective today is to find equivalent fractions. Let's start off by looking at some previous work. Questions 1 and 2 should be easy. Just remember to use bar modelling. It doesn't matter that they are using grams. Just look at the number 320. In questions 3 and 4, you may have to look a little bit further back in our work. Pause the video while you check your answers. Remember to complete any corrections. So we have been learning about equivalent fractions. Before, we were using bar models. Today, we are going to look at using number lines. You can see this number line is from 0 to a whole one. And if I cut the number line into two equal parts, we can see the fraction there is 1/2. The denominator 2 for two equal parts. A whole one is two of the two equal parts. So let's look at this number line. How would you label this one? Look at the number of parts it is cut into. Pause the video while you label your number line. So let's check. Did you label the number line correctly? Well, it was cut into 4 equal parts. So the denominator is 4. So we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 1 one is 4/4. Remember, when the numerator and the denominator are the same, equal, it equals 1 So let's have a look at comparing the bar models with the number line that we previously used. We can see here the bar models have to be exactly the same size as the number line. The denominator tells us how many parts, equal parts, to cut our bar models into. The numerator tells us how many to shade. Can you see that the fractions are the same as 1/4 on the number line? So here are some equivalent fractions. Well, they're not quite finished yet. There are some empty boxes. Can you fill in the empty boxes? Think about the slide before with the equivalent fractions to 1/4. Pause the video while you complete the task. So did you find the equivalent fractions? Let's have a look. So 1/4 was equivalent to 2/8, which was equivalent to 3/12, which was equivalent to 5/20. But the last one has 2 numbers missing. Can you make up your own equivalent fraction? Did you choose 10/40 as an equivalent fraction to 1/4? Well done. There are many more. Now what do you notice about all of these equivalent fractions? Pause the video and have a good look. So what did you notice? Did you notice that if you times the numerator by the denominator 4, you get an equivalent fraction? 1 times 4 equals 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. 3 times 4 equals 12, and so on. And also, if you divide the denominator by 4, 40 divided by 4 equals 10. Did you also notice that if you multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number, you also get an equivalent fraction? 1 multiplied by 2 equals 2, and 4 multiplied by 2 equals 8. If we multiply 1 by 3, we get 3, and 4 multiplied by 3, we get 12. What do you think we have to multiply to get to 5/20 or 10/40? Now have a go at questions 1 to 3. Pause the video on each question. So let's check the answers. Mo thinks that 2/3 is equivalent to 8/12. So he's taken 2 number lines. He's cut the first one into 3 equal parts and labelled them 1/3 and 2/3. On the bottom number line, he split it into 12 equal parts. Can you find 8/12? Let's start at the middle, which will be 6/12, and move along 2. Are they equivalent? We can clearly see here with the dotted red line that 2/3 is equivalent to 8/12. So here's Rosie. She thinks that 3/5 is equivalent to 5/7. Pause the video while you work this out. Remember what Mo did? He used some number lines and compared them. So let's check Rosie's answer. First of all, she drew a number line and divided it into 5 equal parts. She counted up from 0, 1/5, 2/5 to find 3/5. For her second number line, she cut it into 7 equal parts, but this time she counted backwards. 7 sevens, 6 sevens, 5 sevens. Then she compared the two number lines. Looking at the red dotted line, are they equivalent? No, they're not. Rosie was wrong. Pause the video while you have a go at number 4. Pause the video and check your answers. Don't forget to do any corrections. Let's have a look at this next question. A is equivalent to 1/3, C is equivalent to 5/6, and B is halfway between A and C. What fraction is B equivalent to? Pause the video. So let's look at the first part to this question. A is equivalent to 1/3, but the number line has been split into 12 equal parts. Let's draw another number line and split it into 3 equal parts and compare it. We can see here that 3/5 is the same as 4/12. So now let's put the letter A to mark 1/3 on the number line. And let's move on to C. C is equivalent to 5/6. How can we work this out? But once again, the number line had 12 equal parts, and we need a number line with 6 equal parts. Let's count back from a whole one of 6/6 to 5/6, and now compare it with the first number line. So now we can place 5/6 on the number line and label it C. So now can we find B? B is halfway between A and C. Pause the video while you try to find halfway between A and C. Here we can see the distance from A to C is 6 parts of the number line. Therefore, B will be 3 parts of the number line. Can you think of what fraction B could represent? Remember, the number line was split into 12 equal parts. Pause the video and work it out. So we can see if we count up the number line in 12s, we arrive at 7/12. So B is equivalent to 7/12. Let's have a go at the final question, number 5. Look at the triangle and the square on the number line. What fraction does it represent? A circle is halfway between the triangle and the square. Draw the circle on the number line. Ava thinks that the circle is pointing to 9/21. Is she correct? Check your answer here and do any corrections. Well done today. Today's lesson was very tricky. Don't forget to email your work and I will give you some dojos. And remember, stay at home and stay alert.